Good morning, everyone, and welcome. This is Joseph Scarice, co-host, co-founder of the Creative Birth Strategy House here on Clubhouse, and also located on our website, creativebirthstrategies.com. And we're also on Audible, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're spreading out like wildfire. We're at our 67th episode, which I'm so excited about. And we're here to provide education, networking, and strategy. And I try to tackle different subjects that are out there that I think are going to be impactful, for your business as a real estate professional. I think it's very important, I'm a big fan of providing education. It's like my first priority. Up and about, I mean, obviously, I do loans, and I have a passion for asset-based lending, but I really want to make sure people are walking away with a golden nugget of insight to what they're doing. I really want them to feel like they're part of something, part of education, part of fulfilling some of their questions and answers. And I think it's very important. And I want to stop and thank for the engaged followers that listen to this podcast every weekend, and how we stay very focused on trying to tackle subjects that people want to hear. They really want to get in front of these subjects and be part of something. We're probably currently getting about 500 downloads a month, which is a nice steady pace. We are going to be rolling out a marketing plan. It's starting in October. Yordell and I have just kind of put it all together with meetings that we've had with various SEO specialists that we've been talking to. So I'm really excited about that. And then I'm going to be very involved with a very intense schedule this fall. I can tell you, I'm heading out today to the Maryland Association of Realtor Expo. Next week, I'll be at the Delaware Association of Realtor Expo. I'm speaking at a simplified real estate. It's a module educational process. I'm speaking down at Fort Lauderdale next weekend. Then I'm going right to Delaware for another event, and then Association of Realtors there. I'll be at the New York Real Estate Investors Expo. Uh, we are going to be at Ohio RIA. We are now going to be at National Association of Realtors in Boston, Massachusetts. And then we'll also be at Triple Play in Atlantic City. So we're staying extremely aggressive to what we're trying to accomplish, getting in front of real estate professionals throughout the region. And then next quarter, I have some other plans of what areas I'd like to go after and be in front of. So I've been talking with, again, my social media strategist, Yordell Perkins of Perkatech, who's one of our great sponsors. I want to thank also MB Capital, our unsecured business line of credit program that provides unsecured business lines for real estate professionals nationwide. I'd like to thank Lendmark Capital, which provides asset-based lending for real estate professionals throughout the country, and DSCR, single family through four family, multifamily, 5 through 25, mixed use, new construction, fixed to rent, fixed to flip. And I want to thank Realty 411 with Linda Pelagas, who provides a national publication uh, for real estate professionals throughout the country, and also provides real estate events, which I know she has a couple coming up very soon. And I think she'll appreciate this subject here today, real estate deal prospecting. But let's go back a bit. Let's go two steps back and look at what the market's going to look like real quick going into this week. I think we're going to have a lot of volatility. We had low volatility last week, even though the CPI reports, the inflation numbers, job reports, all indicate. I mean, everybody knows we're going to be dropping this rate. So what does this do to the real estate professional? To be honest with you, we've already seen 2/4 point drops in the investor space. So if we're putting our investor hat 100% on, your rates have already came down a half a point in the past week and a half. Why? We don't follow the Fed announcement. We follow the 5-year Treasury. So if you want to stay very inclusive to the market, I'd be eyeballing the 5-year Treasury day to day and see how that's going to impact your numbers, whether it's DSCR, whether it's fixed to rent, fixed to flip, or new construction. Those are the numbers that you need to keep an eye out for, because that is going to be the difference maker in your bottom line if you're very rate sensitive. So keep that in mind, because a lot of people don't realize that the Fed has obviously more impact to the 10-year treasury, and then that's going to impact hopefully home buying motivation. So if the quarter point goes down on the Fed, typically the 10-year treasury follows. And I think that's something you want to monitor if you're really focusing in the home buyer space. But it's going to be very weird in a fall market to see the motivation of the real estate, the consumer, to come off the sidelines. I think it's more going to be of a motivation for the investor to come off the sideline as well. I think it's important to keep in mind that the fall market is traditionally a quarter of what really happens in the spring market. And we have a pretty stale real estate stock right now. I'd say, at least in our region, Florida is absolutely flatlining and values are being decreased massively. So the Southwest, Southeast is having some impact right now as well. So again, keep an eye on the 5-year treasury if you're the investor. Keep an eye on the 10-year treasury if you're focusing on the home buying space. So let's dive into our subject this morning: real estate deal prospecting strategies. And I just posted an article this morning. You could find it on LinkedIn and Facebook. And by the way, if you're not connected with me on Facebook, why not? I have 3 profiles. Whoever kind of fills up the last couple friends that I'm looking to connect with, would love to connect with you on Facebook or LinkedIn, or follow me on either one, which is just fine. Real estate prospecting is essential for generating leads and building a pipeline of potential clients. And I really look at it as more of a funnel. Okay, effective strategies help real estate professionals identify and connect with and nurture prospects. Here are some prospecting strategies I'd like to go over. And first of all, I hope every one of us have gone to a networking event one time or another. When's the last time you've gone to one and followed up with every single business card or every single full name and email that you received from somebody you met, and thanked them for meeting them and asking for a follow-up? Think about what I'm saying. How many have you done in the last week? How many have you done in the last month? How many have you done in the last quarter? How many have you done in the last year? And how many have gotten put into your CRM so you could follow up with people every single week with an email update or a newsletter? That's real prospecting. That's hand-to-hand combat, knuckles type of fighting and being in front of people. There's nothing like the live networking event and meeting and greeting people. And it always puzzles me when someone does not follow up. You had a great conversation at an event. You hit all the bells and whistles. Why haven't you had a follow-up discussion on a call, had a cup of coffee, grabbed lunch, collaborating, going to other additional networking events together? Like, why not team up and go to an event and knock it out of the park? Leverage the people you meet. Leverage other service providers that you meet. This is a true art of networking and a strategy to prospect leads. Leveraging also digital marketing, networking, and also is social media presence is key. Having a website or web page. Have a conversation with somebody like Yordell Perkins or Yordell himself. Look at email campaigns, whether it's a customized CRM with a social media strategist, Constant Contact, MailChimp, Google ads or social media advertising, conducting booths. These are important. Networking in your community, attending local events and hosting your own events. We host a mastermind second Monday of the month at my office. It's a difference maker. I also sponsor others' events every single month. I'm probably sponsoring 3 or 4 events this month, at least. Okay, you got to put skin in the game to get results. And collaborate with local businesses. If you're a real estate agent, why are you not highlighting where you get your coffee every night, or every morning, or having meetings at, or a diner, or a beautiful florist shop where you're sending gifts from? I mean, think about this. Leverage your business contacts. They see people every single day. Every single day. They might know 3 people they can introduce you to. Why not ask them to introduce you to 3 people? Utilize real estate farming, targeting specific neighborhoods. But I would look at certain price points and see what does it make sense for me to market or mine that area. Okay, direct mail campaigns, door knocking. Go old school. Just don't get bit by a dog. Leverage referrals and your sphere of influence. Asking for referrals. When I do right by somebody, I say, hey, listen, is there 3 people you can introduce me to? Is there 5 people you can introduce me to? In a text, an email, something. I mean, you're building a relationship with these people. I mean, if I'm going to introduce you to somebody, can you introduce me to somebody? What's wrong with that? Nurturing the existing relationships. Very, very important. Nurture existing relationships. Referral networks. There's some great business-to-business networking groups. There's also some great real estate referral networking groups. I'm more focused on the investor-centric groups or real estate agent investor friendly. Like I'm going to go to an event Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in Maryland. I'm going to have a booth. Every realtor that comes up to me, I'm going to ask them if they are investor friendly and do they currently work with investors. If they give me this like cringe, ew, no. Well, hey, listen, take the mint, have a great expo, but I don't think we're the right connection because I only work with investors. Oh, okay, no problem. Yeah, I can't. I'm not really, I'm not really interested in doing that. Oh, well, then that's okay. Let's cut to the chase, right? Let's cut to the chase. How about cold calling and texting? Get some phone numbers. If the property has a sign that says it's for rent, it's for sale. Those bodega signs, I love calling those bodega signs. Love those. Okay. I used to have a colleague that bought every newspaper in the region and brought them in on a Monday, on a Sunday, bought them on a Sunday, brought them in on a Monday, and he would make 50 calls a day out of those, looking to see if anybody needed a loan. Man, did he have people walking in the door? There are still some old school people that use the newspaper. Target your investors, focus on certain criteria. If you're the single family through 4 family specialist, hone in on that. If you want to go after some 5 through 10, hone in on that. Understand it. Understand the financing capacity. Understand what the price points are and how the market works. Develop a strong CRM system, track leads effectively and automated follow-ups. Go after for sale by owners. Go after expired listings. Go after free and clear properties. A lot of room of negotiation if somebody doesn't owe money on the property. And use data-driven insights like predictive analytics or market research. There's so much available out there on Google. Successful real estate prospecting requires a combination of both traditional and modern strategies, and sometimes just good old-fashioned old school. By diversifying approaches, whether through digital marketing, local networking, or predictive analytics, you can build a steady pipeline of prospects and ultimately lead to more sales and stronger relationships. Linda, good morning and welcome. Brief overview, who you are, what you do, and thoughts to our discussion this morning, real estate deal prospecting strategies.
Good morning, Joseph. Good morning, investors. My name is Linda Pliagas, and I'm the owner of Realty411.com. We're a news and information website, and we also produce webinars, events, magazines, all in an effort to help investors on their journey. As far as real estate prospecting, there are several proven techniques that I've seen work well. Of course, the very first thing that everyone thinks about with prospecting is a letter campaign. While this tends to be expensive, sending out mailers to your target niche and target area can be very effective. Another strategy that requires a lot less capital, just like Joseph mentioned, is networking. Now, you should be connected with your top wholesalers, your top investors, broker agents in the area. You should get to know all these important people in your backyard or in the area that you're interested in investing in, because these people can be a great source of leads for you as well. Now, cold calling, dialing for dollars can be very effective. It's been used on me a lot of times. It's perhaps the least expensive way of prospecting, but you do have to be careful because we do have do not call lists, and you do have to abide by those lists and follow the rules when you are calling people and cold calling. Now, driving for dollars is another method that is very popular, where you drive around the area you want to target, scan for properties that need work, and then contact the buyers directly. Probate liens. If you're interested in probate liens, investors can go directly to the local county courthouse and pull records of probate liens. And these are properties where the owner has passed away. Investors can reach out to the heirs directly to offer their services and offer their help in purchasing properties as is. Now, these are just some of the strategies that investors have used. Some of them they've actually used on me. I've gotten a lot of mailers. I've gotten a lot of cold calls too. So these are all strategies that are effective and are being used right now by investors. Now, an important thing to remember is, just like Joseph mentioned, the follow-up is crucial. Remember, the fortune is in the follow-up. Back to you, Joseph.
Linda, great start. Appreciate you getting on this morning. She calls in from the West Coast. It's a little early out there. So let's get a little catch up with you. I know you have a webinar coming up on probate, and also you have a great big event coming up in LA. Why don't we talk about that real quick and let people know about this so they can either subscribe, reach out to you, get information, get insight. And what's your secret sauce in having events, and trying to get the word out for your publication? Like, what are some of the things that you're doing now that might be a little different that you weren't doing last year, say?
Okay, wonderful. Well, to get the word out, we, rely on our broker agent friends and colleagues to also help us get the word out. So I'm connected with a lot of colleagues in my area. So for this event that we're hosting on October 26th, it's the Los Angeles Grand Real Estate Expo. Everyone is invited. It's a complimentary event. It's also the largest event that we host. We host them with two other real estate groups in the area, and we really rely on our colleagues to help us spread the word. So we let our broker agent friends know, we let our wholesalers, our investors in the area know that we're having an event, and we request that they, invite their social network and their sphere of influence. And a lot of them have joined us at our events in the past, and they're happy to help. So that's one way that we get the word out. We also do a lot of email marketing. You can actually buy lists of all the realtors and brokers that are active, and you can let them know that you're hosting an event or a webinar and invite them to that particular event or webinar. So you can, definitely do that as well. And, these are just some of the ways that we do marketing. A lot of the marketing we do comes from our website. Just like Joseph said, having um, social media strategist and someone that knows about SEO, about building websites, lead gen. That is so important, folks. A lot of the leads come directly from our website because realty411.com, we get approximately close to 3 million views per year already. So a lot of that lead flow comes from the website. So it's so important to have someone like Yardell or someone that knows website development, SEO, and lead gen on your team, because that way you can have the leads come to you, which is so much easier than you going out prospecting to try and get leads in business.
Thanks, Linda. Appreciate the update on everything that's going on. Set up your daily goals and stick to them. Set up a basic website. Get active on social media. My wife and I went to a car show yesterday afternoon. We're walking down the street. We see a couple of real estate agents prospecting at a table at the car show. First thing that comes out of the mouth of one of the realtors, man, there's that guy that always posts educational stuff and videos on Facebook and LinkedIn and oh my goodness, how are you? We had a great conversation. I got her new card. She moved real estate offices. We had a great detail follow. I followed up with an email to her. Nice seeing you. Here's my information. If I can help you in any way, listen, the follow-up is key. If they don't even return your email, that's fine. The follow-up, you get complete. Don't worry about somebody else getting complete. You get complete and put that individual in your CRM. Engage in the community events. Host events. If you need help hosting an event, call me, reach out to me. We'll help you put it together. Contact past clients. I'm always throwing 10 emails out a day, doing a check-in with past clients that I've worked with just to see what they're doing. And reach out to people in new life situations. They changed real estate offices, they moved, etc. Amy, good morning and welcome. Brief overview who you are, what you do, and thoughts to our discussion this morning, real estate deals prospecting strategies.
Good morning, Joe. I am Amy Palvino. That's why I hear the road noise. I am a longtime real estate investor. Actually been in commercial real estate since 2003. Started as a general contractor and then became a real estate investor in 2008. So yeah, it's been a while, been a minute since I started real estate investing. And now I am a real estate technology founder of a startup, and I am the chair of the U.S. PropTech Council, which is the real estate technology trade association in the U.S. So, longtime real estate investor, now real estate technology founder. And I will say that, prospecting for deals, obviously Joe's great at this. It's all about marketing and branding. No matter what business you're in, you have to do marketing and branding, and this is kind of what you're doing. I can add a couple points to what everybody else said, which is really good. You wanna understand from a technology perspective, since I'm a tech person, I can speak to that. You want to do a couple of things around understanding your market that you want to invest in. So you do need a good, and technology can completely help you there. But understanding what market you want to invest in before you spend a dime on any sort of marketing in that area is crucial for you, right? So you need to, and don't hop, skip, and a jump around markets based off of chasing the shiny object, right? I mean, if a market has good fundamentals, no matter what economic situation's happening, generally it's going to have good fundamentals. Everything right now is getting hurt. But, in 2 or 3 years from now, if you like that market, it'll return. Like Austin, Texas is getting butt handed to it, but it will come back and it will be a great market again because it's Austin, Texas, right? So you just kind of need to know that. So own the markets you want to invest in and then know them really, really well inside and out. So, and technology, there's all sorts of new technology coming out to help you with that. I can do that. But once you figure out which market you want to be in, then what you want to do is create what I call this like marketing 360, right? So I employed this. I learned this probably about 10 years ago, and you want to give this feeling like you're everywhere, and so you can do this via being on multiple social media channels. Like, so you should have a profile on LinkedIn. You should be on Facebook. You should be on YouTube. You should be, maybe not Twitter so much more since Elon took it over and kind of ruined it. That's just my personal opinion, but you should be posting out on social media because that's where a lot of people are interacting. You need to be where your potential customers are. So if your homeowner avatar, which you got to understand who owns homes now, where are they? If you're trying to buy homes, that's where you need to be. For me, I am a commercial real estate investor. I'm buying from, a little bit more wealthier folks who run, real estate funds or whatever. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn all the time. I'm posting 4 times a day. So you got to understand where they are because that's where you want to target your marketing and your messaging. But do multiple. Don't just do one. I hear people say, "Oh yeah, just pick one channel and own that channel." I think that's a load of horse crap. I think you need to be in multiple channels doing multiple things because your target audience might move and you don't know they moved until you can kind of figure it out. So be in multiple places, social media, do email marketing. If you do not follow up, you're basically shooting yourself in the foot. And I learned that from my grandfather, who basically said, you want to differentiate yourself, do what you say you're going to do and show up on time, because that's 90% of people don't do that. So do what other people don't, which is something simple like following up. Most people just don't follow up. So there you go, Joe.
Wow, that's a quarter. That's not even a half a nickel. That's a full-blown quarter. I mean, you hit it right on the head. People always come up to me, Amy, and say, "Hey, you're everywhere." I say, "I'm right here in my shoes." "Hey, where's your office?" "I'm right here in my shoes." Listen, you got to get out there in front of people, and I don't think people get it. You don't have to post that you're at an event. People want to see characteristics of what you're providing, what you're falling forward, you're giving back, education, motivation, inspiration, insight, trend discussion. I mean, don't you find that more purposeful, Amy? Don't you feel complete when you're giving that type of information? Nobody gives a shit where you are, right? I mean,
it's about value, right? You provide value first. And what's valuable to the people that you want to do business with is generally, trends, educational stuff, things that are going to help them. And it's this. I'm going back to my grandparents, but there is a very powerful thing in human nature, and it's called obligation. If somebody does something nice for you, you inherently, it's in your soul, unless you're just completely evil, that you want to pay that person back. Right? So you build goodwill by just providing value first. And then people are like, oh yeah, she's always helping me, I should probably do something for her. Right? And so it's just you pay it forward, you put value first, and whatever you're producing, right, whatever your messaging is, and then it breeds goodwill, and people will help you.
excellent, Amy. Thank you very much, and I appreciate that. And that ties in, what are the 5 P's of prospecting? Purpose, preparation, personalization, perseverance, and practice are fundamental principles that guide effective prospecting strategies. Justin, good morning and welcome. Brief overview, who you are, what you do, and thoughts to real estate deal prospecting strategies. Justin?
Oh, yeah. Good morning, Joe. How you doing? Justin Jefferson. I'm in the Southern Louisiana market. Real estate investor. I'm a licensed broker. And I've done several steps and managed projects and scaling myself up to larger things, the skill sets that I've developed over the years. But yeah, also, this is a great combo. We picked up a couple of other great points, or mentioned a couple of other great points just pivoting off of the topic, what I feel is the best or better strategy with prospecting. You got to start with whatever it is that you're doing and whatever it is that you're trying to do, trying to accomplish. Let me step in here, guy outside. But just you really want to kind of target what is your end goal. So for me, if I'm looking for another house or if I'm looking for some land to do one of my larger projects on, then I'm gonna definitely need to know what would make this profitable. Like what would make this advantageous for a buy. And so I can go all day about the little things that you need to nuance and understand with that, but I kind of want to touch a little bit on what you guys were speaking on, and that's being present in your market. Being present in your market kind of establishes you as someone who's professional, someone who's vetted, right? And you can get it on a bunch of different levels. But by being vetted, approved, accepted by a certain group within your profession, it usually tends to allow people to open up to you more. That's something you absolutely need when you're looking for deals. Even for prospecting, even when prospecting for people to work with me. As I climb up into bigger things, you realize you need certain things on your resume. You need to be a certain type of person for people to be willing to work with or be willing to give you an opportunity. So outside of just prospecting for properties or whatever the case may be, and when prospecting for somebody to mentor me, or not necessarily cliche form of fashion of mentorship, but an actual just maybe answer some of my questions as I step into my first development deal, or just be there with me. Those people aren't going to give you the time if they don't see you already putting in the time yourself to try to get these things done and try to get them knocked out. But furthermore, if they're not just in the mood to volunteer their time, then they may want to see some potential for their benefit in the future. And that's another thing that I try to just be consistent with showing up with people. Just like you guys say, if you say you're going to call somebody, call somebody. If you say you're going to have something for them, try to have it. One of the things that I feel set me apart and allowed me to get some of the opportunities that I got at 26 and 27 years old was just how thorough and well put together my presentations and my projects were. Saying it's my first flip or saying because at that time that's what it was. So I really, really think that there's a lot to learn in building yourself as a real estate professional, and there's so much you can build on when it comes to personality, and that's gonna be your main prospect into yourself, your reputation. Like you can send out mailers, you can do all of this other stuff, which per event, per deal, they all have their place. But I find that even when you get to the point where you be face to face or talking on the phone, or somebody does their research on you, it's gonna come back to who you are. Show up, or you say you gonna you have the reputation of following through with your promises. And I think that's key. And promises, big or small. And I mean, you had the most successful development. Maybe you were caught in the shift and that didn't work. But did you keep the promise to the lady down the street? You said you're going to buy her house for X amount of dollars. Or did you say you're going to buy her house for X amount of dollars and then cut that in half? Probably knowing you do that already there. What is your reputation and can you stand on it and stand? Those are
Great stuff, Justin. Reputation's everything. Research your prospect and their business to gauge whether you're providing how you're going to provide value. So reputation is huge. Prioritizing your prospects based on the likelihood of them becoming customers, and preparing a personalized pitch for each prospect, and then crafting that first touch. Ensure that you're helping, not selling. Mr. Joseph Martella, good morning. I was hanging out with Mr. Martella last night, having drinks. Good to see him. A little brief overview who you are, what you do. and your thoughts to real estate deal prospecting strategies.
I don't admit that I hung out with you.
I have a picture. I have a picture. I have verification.
So my name is Joseph Martel. I'm a buy and hold investor. I've done a couple of burrs. I invest in New Jersey tax liens, and I do some private lending. So listen, when it comes to prospecting people, right, I'm not on the sales side of it, but there's been a lot of golden nuggets that were given out here. A lot of it is about follow up, which Joe, I think you're a master of, and there's a science to it, right? You don't want to be a salesperson, even though you are a salesperson, right? If I know that you just chasing me for the dollar, well then go away. But if you have other interest in me and what it is that I'm doing and how you can truly help me, other than just making money off of me, well then I'm game. Case in point, I'm a very loyal person, right? But the realtor that I use is someone that I'm very loyal to, and the way we introduced ourselves, I met her, I don't know, 6 years ago now. I was very tough with her, right? This is what I'm looking for. This is what my anticipation is. This is what my expectations are. And of course, what every realtor is going to say is yes, but she actually performs. And the reward with that is not just my business, right? But I referred her to several other people, and she's got several other sales because of it. And that's where you go by developing a relationship. You got to look at it as a relationship, not just as a business prospect, right? Yeah, you're going to go there, you're going to make a sales, you're going to make a dollar, but if you're not building that rapport, you're not going to get the referrals from other people. And it's setting the business right. And again, it's not my business that I get into, right? But word of mouth is more important than anything else. Because I'm putting my reputation on it. So if I go and I refer Joe to someone, hey, it's not just Joe Scarice that has to perform. It's Joe Martella that's giving that referral. Because who are they going to call and complain to, right? Even if Joe does a bad job, they're going to call me, right? And say, Joe, WTF, what did you do to me? You really screwed me up, and now it's a relationship that I have ruined. So when I make a referral, which I don't do lightly, right? It's my reputation that's going behind that. And it's the relationship that I'm building with that individual that's going behind that. Even though I have no money in a prospect, you don't want to screw a friend up. That's never your intentions. And that's just my 2 cents on that.
Thanks, Joe. And I appreciate that because you're coming from a true real estate investor perspective and what the expectations are from the real estate services that are out there, the real estate professionals. You're just the investor buying real estate. You're not going to ever be a real estate agent. You're never going to be a lender. You're not going to be a title agent. You are in a certain category as a prospective client, and that's something that you have to think about as a real estate professional. What is your audience? Develop that social media strategy, create that email database, refresh your web presence, look local, grow your network, become a featured guest. I invite people up here to speak and present and discuss and focus on your niche. I teach CE, but my passion is teaching CE on asset-based lending. I could teach 10 other courses, but my passion is on one course. I focus on my niche. I focus on my lane. Melissa, good morning and welcome. Brief overview, who you are, what you do, and thoughts to the discussion this morning, real estate deal prospecting strategies.
Hey, good morning, Clubhouse. Good morning, Joseph. Hi, Linda. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm Melissa King, owner-operator at One Last Night LLC Virtual Assistant Services. I offer realty, bookkeeping, and office management services to small businesses and entrepreneurs. I'm also a state of Michigan licensed referral agent and notary. I live in the West Michigan area. This is awesome stuff. Definitely determine your niches. I do bookkeeping, notary, and admin services for realty professionals. I've always liked the real estate market, so that's kind of my lane. That's where I stick in. I've been learning a lot of things lately with regards to what lane I want to get into, because I do want to invest more in real estate as I move forward into those, what do they call them, golden years. I'm still pretty young though, and the doctor says I have good health, so I don't really feel that golden. I also want to mention grandparents. Amy, my grandmother, who I was a caregiver for almost 9 years from the age of 16 on. One thing she always did to make people feel good, and I think that's what you need to do as well, is make people feel good, to make them feel valued, is she would send out birthday cards until she got too old and couldn't afford it anymore because the family just kept growing. So I like to do that for people as a personal thing. If I hear something, especially in Clubhouse, that went on with your life, I may send you something in the mail. If you referred me, which a lot of my 15 years of business has been referrals. I love referrals. I will send people out little gift cards, $5 gift cards, Big B, which is in place, or Starbucks, because that's national. I think those are great. And Joe, mints at events, that is an absolute must. How many people do you get up to your table just by having mints? They're going out there eating. They're going to start to walk up and go to somebody. They don't, they want to have fresh breath. So keep those mints at your events. I love those. I always do that. That's great. And last thing I would like to say, because Justin really hit on it as well, is be present out there, build a good reputation. Trust is everything. I would not be where I'm at today after 15 years. I just celebrated at that last Monday night meeting. I was so happy without earning people's trust. That's what I got for today. Thank you.
Joe,
Yes.
to add on to that, one thing that Melissa mentioned that was really important, right? People may not remember the conversation that you had with them, but they'll remember how they make you feel. So that's one point that Melissa tagged on. So if you make people feel good, they're gonna want to do business with you. And I think that you should switch from mints to Sour Patch Kids. You're more of a Sour Patch Kid, Joe.
I'll stick with the mints. Listen, you know what? I'm not a big fan of all the tchotchke stuff, pens, all these like squeezy balls. All that stuff is kind of, to me, kind of a waste of time. The icebreaker in conversation, hey, do you mind if I take a mint? Sure. What do you do? Who are you? What company are you with? And it just sparks the conversation. I did advance a little. I am putting out Tootsie Rolls now too. So I'm very much a traditionalist. So I do look forward to the Maryland Association of Realtor Expo. I'm very excited about going to it. But you got to craft your pitch. You gotta research your prospects. Like I did research to Maryland. I understand the market. I understand how to prospect and identify the opportunity. So you got to do that to build your target list. Very, very important. How to generate business. Like I did a presentation for a subgroup Thursday night. A lot of people did not have business cards. I asked every single one of them right there and then, text me your full name and email. I will send you the worksheets to better underwrite your deals. I will email you information on our programs and products where you could be a referral partner or full blown correspondent to our fund. Okay, so I offered that, and then I said, put together a deal because I'm going to start pricing loans out for you in front of you at part 2 at the next event, first Tuesday at this other event. I got 10 texts, full name, email, phone number. I got a couple business cards. Every single one was returned by 9:00 in the morning the next day. To me, that's important, the follow up and the follow through. Travis, good morning and welcome. Brief overview, who you are, what you do, and thoughts to our discussion this morning. Real estate deal prospecting strategies.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Morning, Joe, and the rest of all the beautiful people on the stage and out there in the audience. I'm Travis. I have a real estate brokerage here in the Houston area. We focus mostly on helping people invest in residential and commercial properties. We also do property management, and then we do help people buy their dream house or sell their house if they need to. Man, I don't know. There's not a lot that I could add to whatever everybody's already said. I think, I can talk from my own experience. What really got me the clients that I have today was mostly word of mouth and a web presence that I had that was before everybody moved to a cell phone, that was organically ranked very high on a Google search, like in the first three for my area. So I got a lot of leads that way. But as as other people have already said, like Amy, when technology changes and you're not moving with the technology wherever your clients are moving to, whatever platform they're using, you're going to start to see your leads go down. So that's really important. If that's one of your main lead points, is to move with the technology, keep your stuff up to date. And the word of mouth is better than any lead you're going to get from online or anything else. Somebody that refers you to someone else, that's somebody that they trust, that's telling them, hey, give this guy a call, he can help you with your property, or she can help you with your property. You got to really make sure you take care of those people. That, in my opinion, is very important. And as somebody else had said, I think one of the other big things is having a community. So, who's your community? Who are you interacting with? And just in that community, you'll get clients, you'll get leads, you'll get whatever. Somebody always has a family member who's, unfortunately passing away, or has a property they need to sell or something. And then I would say the third thing is, hire people. It's okay to pay wholesalers or pay people at the bird dog for you. If they're bringing you an actual property you're going to close on, then why not hire a bunch of people and pay them a commission, or pay them some kind of referral fee when they bring you a property? I mean, why limit yourself to only the people that and the marketing that you're doing? Reach out to other people in whatever community that they're a part of. They can also refer clients to you.
Travis, awesome stuff. And by the way, Mr. Travis, you ready for this? I will be speaking in the new year at one of the Houston Association of Realtors associations on asset-based lending, a CE course.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, a title company reached out to me via Florida, because I'm teaching in Florida several times, and they have an office in Houston, and I'm having a call with them next week. I don't know what the name of the association is, but I will let you know right away once I talk to the title rep, because a lot of title companies, they want to have these type of discussions to get realtors out in front of them. So I'll be coming to Houston. I'll have to give you a heads up. I'll probably be doing it like on a Friday type of event. You know what I mean?
Yep, buddy, I can bring you to the best barbecue joints in the town. So
you're bringing tears to my eyes.
Barbecue, I know where to go.
Excellent. I'm there, man. I'll be there waiting for you with a bell. So it's all good. But I'll keep you guys in mind for that. As I'll drop your name with this title company and see if they even know you, and maybe tie it into whatever association you're part of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sounds good.
Good stuff. So listen, this is where it's all going, right? You got to create the ideal customer profile. You got to focus on warmth. You got to send engaging and personalized emails. Target prospects, love LinkedIn, all about what Amy's talking about. Attend relevant events in what you're trying to accomplish. Ask for referrals. Seek partnerships and collaboratives. Collaborate with other real estate professionals that you could segue together on, and take advantage of automation. And maybe sometimes an event is not for you. Maybe you don't go back if there's no fish in the pond. Don't go back with a pole and try to fish in a pond that don't have fish. Good morning, Owen. Brief overview of who you are, what you do, and thoughts to our discussion this morning: real estate dealer prospecting strategies.
Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Clubhouse. Owen Dublin out of Pennsylvania. I'm the president of BurCAG, commercial mortgage broker. We provide loans for real estate investors. For the topic of deal topic and strategies, I have multiple points. I think something you touched on earlier. I would definitely say, in-person events, areas, let people know what you do, what you specialize in. But also, too, when you meet someone, I think the best approach is like, how do you help them solve their problem? So have that mindset of trying to help someone versus like to get a deal. And the deal will come to you, maybe it's from not that person, but somebody that they know because they know you have the mindset of helping people. Also, too, I would say get the technology and utilize that for deals, but also I would say think back to when there was not technology, right? There's stuff that still work like say door knocking, even door hangers. So do what your competition is not doing. Everyone is on social media, other places, but I'm gonna give a door knocking outside. So take some time to say what works pre technology because some of those strategies still work today. And then also have, how do you keep getting better? For development. So for me personally right now, I'm reading book rules and strategy, right? I feel like we always have to keep getting better. And this I'm not done with the book yet, but so far the first two chapters are great. Kind of like think different when in an environment, how to grow your business. All right, thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Owen. It reminds me what Owen's talking about is the 80-20 rule. I come from a hospitality background, and I always gave great service as a fine dining server or bartender because I always try to make 20% return on my time as a tip. So you have to look at a bigger picture. If you're going to meet 100 people, you're going to identify with that only about 20% of that. And you got to work that over and over again and sift through all those individuals over and over again. And there's going to be people that are unsubscribed. They're not going to connect with you. Whatever it is, it's a numbers game. And, Owen mentioned competition. And I really believe your only competition is the mirror. I don't really look at anybody else as my competition because then I'm really not focusing on what I'm trying to accomplish in wherever I am. I don't care if there's 10 loan officers in the room. I know what I provide from an advisory and strategy perspective more so than anybody else than myself. So I stay confident and competent in what I do, and I try to surround myself with brilliant people. I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. Mr. Steve Franco, good morning and welcome. Brief overview who you are, what you do, and thoughts to your discussion this morning. Real estate deal prospecting strategies.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. This is Steve Franco with REIHomepage.com. I'm an investor mostly in the multifamily space, although moving a little bit into self-storage. I do a lot of education on different types of real estate, as well as a little bit of private lending, and mostly try to connect people within the community. And I have to say that I am very bad at most of what people have said here. I actually am hiring staff, personal CRM application, make sure everything is on CRM is key. And I'm hiring people to help sort of innovate niches and help connect. So using those people like Joe S. Percocet and the rest of his team, using those people that can do the parts that either you're not great at, don't have the time for. And I love commission-based. One of the reasons I started teaching in wholesaling and other types of investing is because those folks become bird dogs. And it's like, look, so I'll give you half my profit, I'll give you a third of my profit, whatever. You sell a course for me, here you go. The other thing that I find is key is that you never know where you're going to find that person. So I've actually gotten a very good connection by hosting a very small event. I called it Property Owners Workshop. And it was just, if you got a property question, come here Saturday at noon. And ended up that I got a landlord to walk in the door who was basically kind of losing it. Or not losing his property. He was doing fine financially, but he was just losing his mind. And that is, all of the onlines, absolutely be everywhere you can. I'm always shocked when people say to me, oh, gee, you're everywhere. Well, I don't think I post nearly enough. But the follow-up is key. Remembering, finding a way, whether it's an assistant, whether it's CRM, whether it's whatever, that when you meet someone at an event, they hear from you the next day. They hear from you 2 or 3 months later, or 2 or 3 weeks later, some periodic. And when they call you, having them in your phone is key. Knowing who it is, not being, oh, gee, who's this? I actually yesterday got a very big deal by a lead from a title company. Somebody walked in the door, had a whole story. The title agent didn't know anything how to help them. And she's like, the only one I thought that could handle this craziness is you. And I'm like, I'll take that deal. I will take that identifier that I can help crazy. So really the biggest takeaway for me, everyone's already covered most of the really good stuff, is if you're not good at a portion of it, if you don't have the bandwidth to remember, Chris needs me to look for this property, or this person needs this, or this person fits here, I can fit here for this person. Hire someone. Get a virtual assistant, $3, $5 an hour. Get someone commission based. There's no way we can do everything we do without help. So find who that help is for you.
Great stuff.
If you have any, things that I can help with, leads to solutions or tools or calculators or anything, reach out to me. However we can work together. That's kind of what this is about. That's what this group is great about, and that's what Joe is great at doing.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate that insight and detail. And listen, being humble is important as well. And, when you're at a networking event and you're prospecting or you're on a one-on-one, respond to that body language. Try to understand their body language. Be positive. Eliminate the fighting or the flight. Just kind of hone in on the positivity of things. Respect personal space. Notice their style. Use sensory language. Have a pitch ready. Go for the call to action, all right? And generally care. Lewis, good morning and welcome. Brief overview, who you are, what you do, and thoughts to our discussion this morning, real estate deal prospecting strategies.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Thank you, Joe, again, for having me on here. And good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good day. Terrific call and discussion so far. Honestly, the only thing, that's stopping everybody on this call from executing on all this information is just action at this point. What everybody said, works. What everybody is saying is valid. And the only thing that's really stopping you at this point is just the action to implement what everybody's saying right now. One thing I wanted to add in regards to being market specific, and by the way, I'm right now I'm an investor, business owner. I wholesaled for the past 4.5 years, and that's what I'm looking to do as a business model at the moment. So my advice to somebody who is doing deal prospecting, and somebody touched on this as well, is you have to look at your market. If your market has over 100,000 people in it, your marketing may be a lot different than somebody who's in a market with less than 30,000 people. So if you have to understand, from a sales perspective, you have to see, okay, what's your pipeline look like? What's your, prospecting flow look like? What's your, demographics in your particular area? Because if you're not out there, doing specific marketing to, your market, you're not going to see the results in your market. So let's say, for example, it takes me 100 cold calls in New Jersey to get a deal, but it may take me 1,000 cold calls in Pennsylvania to get a deal. So you just have to see, okay, what marketing channel is actually working in your market, and then what's the volume looking like? Because if you don't have that many people in your market, you may have to, ramp up the volume of what you're doing things. If you have more people in your market, it may take you less tries or less postcards or less text messages to actually get to your prospect. And the second thing I wanted to add to the conversation is just that, honestly, deal prospecting, real estate as a whole, as real estate business, it honestly just boils down to sales and marketing. Are you good at sales and marketing? And nobody, really wants to talk about the sales part because, that's kind of like the, I got to go out there and make, 100 calls today and get screamed at. Nobody wants to do that. But, if you have the, capability of, doing that and you feel like that's your strength, go out there and make those calls and do that. But other people said that that's not your strength. Leverage the salesperson on your team. Leverage the person who's finding these deals. You can prospect and get all these deals, but that's just lead generation. Then the next step is conversion. How are you converting those leads from cold warm leads to, okay, this seller just signed on the contract? If you don't have that person on your team, or if that's not you, you have to leverage that person in the form of a wholesaler, in the form of an agent, in the form of somebody who can actually convert those leads into signed contracts, because you're not going to be able to do anything without a signed contract. So, that's honestly the only thing I would say is just everything is boiled down to sales and marketing. If you're doing enough marketing, you're going to get enough leads. If you're good at sales, you're going to get enough contracts signed, and so far and so forth. So, honestly, those are the things I would add to the conversation. And, everybody who's on this call, I, wish you luck and, persistence on keep pushing and moving forward.
Thank you, Lewis. And this ties into, you want to be careful on the pushiness. Focus on the prospect, not on you. Make your prospect feel comfortable. Don't overcome objections with the word but. Get your prospect's buy-in. Allow your prospect to speak and listen. And sometimes taking no for an answer. And remember, only fools rush in. Timothy, good morning. Welcome. Brief overview, who you are, what you do, and thoughts to our discussion. Real estate deal prospecting strategies. Timothy, going once. There you go.
Sorry, Jared. Sorry I got a little late in the room, so I'm imagining quite a few things have been discussed. Some of the key takeaways for me, at least when I was first beginning, was what do I want to get into? What does my audience look like? From there, or what do my consumers look like? For business, obviously, you have to have consumers, you have to have people paying. And second takeaway that I got: what items do you do as a business owner that some are worth your time and others the juice is just not worth the squeeze? Lewis, you brought up a good point with cold calling, et cetera, may fit your business model best. For me, it's networking, going to events, going to commerce areas, taking some time looking at some of the lists out there for properties that might fit my business model. And then getting a little more granular into that. For those who are out there, whether you're wholesaling, your business model is going to look much different than mine as a buy and hold real estate investor. So taking that back and taking a look through from a beginner's perspective is probably worth a little more time. Now, leveraging a CRM. Not everybody out there has the cash or the capital to have a CRM, nor do they have that in their business model currently. Would I recommend one? As your business grows, yes, look into one. I would agree with that. Make sure if you're, for example, for me, I went with, because I'm a buy and hold real estate investor, I went with Turbo Tenant just to manage my property or my properties. These are some key takeaways, but overall, network, get yourself out there. Even go to commerce events, go to your local REI meet, take a look, see what's up on judicial auction. Auctions for real estate, I believe, the rules vary different in each state. It's, something if you're a wholesaler. Make sure, number one, that you're also not working with scared capital. Have people like Joseph or, other folks that have the financial background in their wheelhouse to be able to help guide you through some of these events. Work with prop tech. Amy always brings some good points to the table. And so, but that's it for me, Joseph. Sorry, I've been kind of out of the room for a little while. I've had some major projects going on, so I will be rejoining then over the next couple of weeks. So thank you for having me on, Joseph, and hope everyone has a blessed day.
Thanks, Timothy. Great tips. Good. I'll be seeing you in the immediate future. I'll be speaking at the Lehigh Valley Real Estate Investor Group in October. I'm very excited about that opportunity. I always enjoy coming back and seeing a group that I started off with years ago with Garrett Rhodes. So always good to see him as well. And my final thoughts to this, define your ideal customer profile. Use sales prospecting tools personalize your outreach, use social media, use email marketing, focus on quality, not quantity. I'll give you a great example. I spoke to 4 people at an event one time, just in the past quarter. I'm on my 28th loan from meeting the 4 people. So I didn't have to be in a room of 100 people. I had to be in a room with the right 4 people to be at my my 28th loan with those prospects that I've talked with. So, and using your referral marketing, right? Be consistent and continuous. So who are we going to get their final thoughts from today? We'll pick on Amy. Amy, what's your final thought of the discussion this morning on prospecting real estate deals?
So we've hit on a lot of things, and there's another tip, but obviously understanding your ideal customer profile is key. But you need to know them so well that you know all of their pain points. You might be solving just one pain point, right? But they are going to have needs in other areas. And guess where you need to show up at? If it's a real estate investor that you want to buy from, because real estate investors have a lot of property that they, go in and out of, that's your ideal customer profile. Well, guess what? They have to raise capital. So go to a family office event. They have tax strategies they need. Go to a CPA event. Go to other events where you can create this thing that you're always everywhere because you know your customer so well. You know what they need. Even though you might not provide it for them, you're going to go show up over there because you're going to have a solution to one of their needs, right? So that's just another happening.
That was great stuff. No, you're exactly right. You got to be the fish that goes upstream, not downstream, is basically the synopsis to what I hear there. And I want to thank our sponsors this morning. I want to thank Miss Linda Pelagas with Realty 4-in-1. I'd like to thank Mr. Yordell Perkins of Perkatech, your social media strategist. I'd like to thank MB Capital, your unsecured business line of credit referral program. And I'd like to thank Lendmark, where I am a senior loan analyst providing asset-based lending for real estate professionals nationwide. Please note, we are not having a room next Saturday morning. I will be in Florida presenting to real estate investors in Fort Lauderdale. So I will be a little busy. So I don't want to overrun myself with different things. We will be back next Sunday morning, 9:30 a.m. as scheduled. You can find all our downloads on creativebirdstrategies.com. You can connect me on either Facebook or LinkedIn and stay in touch with and stay in tune with a lot of my updates of education and my strategy and my motivation, my inspiration. You can follow me on Instagram or X. And my quote this morning: if you have nothing in life but a group of good friends, you are rich. I want to thank everybody. Have a blessed Sunday morning. Have a fantastic week. I will see you on the streets of Clubhouse, and I will see you next Sunday morning, 9:30 a.m. We will not be having a Saturday morning discussion. Thank you, and have a great day.